What are some statistics you've heard about YouTube? Do you know why it's like super important to be on YouTube?
Second largest search engine.
Exactly. Why else is it important to be on YouTube? Most humanizing video. Studies have shown that you actually feel like you're connecting to a person when you see them on video, and it's really the only media that does that. Statistics also show that people buy more when they see a video as opposed to reading text, and people are watching more video than ever before, so they're actually doing more video than they ever have. Like, people would prefer to watch a video than read, so you almost have to have video on your website. I'm not your designer, I'm not your web guy, so it's really important you have your branding down. Corner, yep. Anywhere else? If you present, you could put signage up behind you that has your logo on it. And your PowerPoint. So you want to get that on there subliminally as much as you can. But really, the intro and the outro are the key. It brands you right away, and at the end, it reinforces your logo. So a logo has basically two elements. It has like the image, but it also has like a tag that, and possibly the name of the speaker. So you don't want to just have your name, but you could say inspirational speaker or something like that. So that should be part of your logo and your branding. But first, I just want to talk a little bit about YouTube. It gets the second most traffic behind Google. Google owns YouTube. I'll just quick run through how to optimize YouTube.
Number 60.
Where I got the research on this and information was through, I watched videos and I had my assistants transcribe it and stuff. And I also found the most current reports. You can go to Word Tracker. These are free places where you can actually search what your competitors' words are coming up first in search engines. So you kind of want to, first you want to think, oh, who's my audience? And then find out what they're searching for. So it's all tied together. So it's called AdWords Keyword Tool. And you can just put that in Google. And you have to actually register and kind of set it up so that it tracks your website and whatnot. If someone watches your video, what do you hope they do? What do you hope happens? They call you, but OK, so you have your phone number on there. But really, the whole purpose of video on YouTube is to get them to your website. So for each video, you would want to possibly do this. You have the title name, which in this case, you want to do something catchy. But then you also want to include the name of your YouTube channel. You also want to put your top 3 keywords. Then the video file name. So before you even upload it to YouTube, you want to have your title made. So that's really easy. The video file name, you just rename it. Description. Here's where it gets kind of fun. You need to put your 13 keywords written into your description. So somehow you have to put it in a sentence, you know, happy, motivational, something like that. And then transcript. And that's easy. I mean, I guess if you have someone type out all the words, the audio that you hear in the video, and what you want, the reason you do that is because different hearing impaired or different languages will pick that up. Also, Google search engines will grab that transcript and it'll bring you even higher up in the search engines. You could have a team just writing all this. Your channel design, let's go to the YouTube channel. Terrible thing about YouTube is once you put your video up, at least as far as I know, maybe someone knows differently, you can't take it down and replace it. So you got to make sure you like that video. No, actually the best length is 90 seconds, so a minute and a half. But that's not going to matter so much in the search engine. That's going to matter more for the person watching it, you know, because it'll hold their attention span. But as far as YouTube liking it, it won't matter as much. Yeah, there is editing in there. And as an editor, I don't like that, because then people will go to YouTube and edit their video. So I don't know anything about the editing part of it.
I'm just going to tell you, you can do it on iMovie on your computer. I'm sorry, video editor. On Mac. Yeah, you can use it on iMovie.
But as long as it's different content. So let's say you have a speaking video that's 10 minutes long. Yeah. Well, you could actually make, let's say, 5 vlog videos out of it. And I have speakers do this too. They'll take their whole 45-minute keynote and we'll chop it up. But then their job is to tell me exactly where they want to cut. So it might be, oh, from the start to minute 140, that'll be one video. Here's the title. Oh, let's skip a little bit. Oh, at 3 minutes and 40 seconds to 5 minutes and 10 seconds, oh, here's another video. So yes, you can cut up your video. But you want to make sure it's different content. So once you get your YouTube videos on there, you can actually add your entire YouTube channel. So you can actually put a tab in there. So then they can, you know, where it says photos, a timeline, and events. Well, you can have a YouTube in there, and then they can see all your videos, and you can even set the first one you want to see. But then there's LinkedIn. That's easy. You can add that in summary. But here's what's cool about LinkedIn is that when you post to Facebook, you can actually do the same post. It's almost LinkedIn. Think of LinkedIn as like Facebook. It's basically like Facebook for professionals. So every week, if you're blogging, you can do those same blogs on LinkedIn, and I recommend that if you're excited about the content that you have.
What do you think?
Let's say you did write your descriptions and your keywords. That's going to go right into LinkedIn too. So that's going to just even drive more traffic back to your website. So you can put video on LinkedIn. You can also put it on Facebook as a post. And YouTube is great because you just post that link, and you already have the description, the title, and those keywords in there. To do a Facebook channel, you need to have it set up as a separate page outside of your personal one. Your YouTube channel design, there's really only like 5 things you have to do to update your YouTube channel. So one is that you can also add your Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn icons, and that's all in here too, so that it shows you exactly how to do it. But the most important thing, I think, is the trailer video. So this right now is her demo reel, which eventually we'll replace with the Sizzler, because that has her both speaking and it has testimonies and voiceover. So if you scroll down, this is really awesome. When YouTube did this, I was excited because it's basically, you got to think of YouTube as its own website and has its own categories. So almost like these are the pages. We have presentation videos, and we did that because we thought, you know what, that's what people want to see first, is her energy. And I put the most funniest one there, I thought. And then if you go down, we have testimonials. So we have, there are like longer versions of what we have in the Sizzler of testimonies. And then we have our daily dose vlogs. You can do as many categories, but they call them sections. So when you're in there, but everything's in here. So you should be able to cruise through this and set it up. If you were to watch it on a TV, it has a size for that. Right. If you were to put it on your phone, I don't know, I haven't looked at the phone right now, but it should fit in the phone, but it might have some other stuff under it. And then there's one other image that it's used for, like something really small, I don't know. Yeah, yeah. So the only thing that really is easy is adding the small one in the top left, which they call the profile photo, and that's 100 by 100 pixels. If you're doing your site and you have a web designer, they should be packaging this into it, like automatically. They should be packaging all your social media into the design, because you might need one for Facebook. You'll need one for not necessarily LinkedIn, but Vimeo or Twitter. All the brands. Can you go to Facebook and pull my Dan Lipman Facebook page up?
Yeah, I can see if it's.
Because what I did, and this is kind of risky because I put my phone number on it, and any weirdo can call me, but it doesn't matter. I don't have kids or nothing, so and no one's gonna mess with me. Basically, my business card is exactly the same as my Facebook, so I'm happy.
But that's your personal Facebook.
It is, and I have a video My Story one too. But when I meet, when I'm networking with people, generally they're going to put my name in before they're going to put my business in, because they're going to remember me more than, oh, I'm with Video My Story. But they're going to remember Dan Lipman before they're going to remember my. So I think this is important. And unfortunately, scroll down. I have nothing personal. It's more business, because it's on my business card. So it matches my business card. So I'm actually branding myself. It's all video. I am like Video My Story, so I brand it. I don't know if someone would take.
If you click on that, what's going to happen to them?
Nothing clicks on it, but you could scan it with your phone.
Yeah, if you scan it, where is it going to go to?
To my website. Because again, what's the point of everything? The whole point of video is to get people to your website. Okay, as a speaker, you only really need 3 videos. You need one speaking clip, I believe, or a series of speaking clips. You need a Sizzler video, or a demo video, or a profile video about you. And what's the third video? Vlogs. Vlogs can be made up into 3 different types of production. One could be with green screen, and I like that because you sit in one place and you just crank them out. That's what Renee and I did. Another one, I have another client. I have lots of other clients who I have 50mm lenses, so we go to their office, and they have really great office space, and every month we move around a different spot, so it looks really unique. The fourth would be like a white background, or you could have a fun one where you're outside walking around. We do some of those, where someone's on the street talking to people. Okay, so blog videos. Renee, there's 5 parts that go into what I think, this is the most Speakers, they all come to me. This is one thing they've wanted for the last 10 years I've been doing this. One, you need voiceover. So one, you need to have a 1-minute script is 140 words. I have no idea how it works out to 140 words, but it always does. 140 words equals a minute. You don't want it to be longer than that. And that is basically what you have on your website. You already created this nice content on your website to intro who you are. So you just use that and can maybe retailor it at the end so it says visit da-da-da-da or call. The second part of that video would be actual speaking clips of you. This is where you'd only do about a 1 to 2 minute speaking clip of you, maybe a 20-second one. Don't we have some really short ones in there, like a 15-second, and the longest we might have is like a 1.5 minutes. And then that would be the third part, and that can come from various different locations. Let's say you speak to schools, let's say you speak to corporate, let's say you speak to entertainment, you're a performer. Well, you're going to want to include all three of those in that sizzle reel as speaking clips, and you're going to keep them short because you don't want it to go too long. The third would be testimonials. Now here's where it gets tricky because you got to find a videographer that's comfortable talking to people. Obviously I've been filming you guys all weekend, and you probably didn't even know it was coming because I just go like this, hey, what's up, you know? And it works though, right? I mean, what are you going to say? But the important thing I do, what would you tell someone about what you just heard? So it's almost like you're almost having to repeat the same thing 3 times. So they just say it in 3 different ways. And the second or the third would be, oh, the third, I'm sorry, there is a third. What'd you think of the speaker's energy? Because you want them to say something about, oh my God, she was so funny, or, you know, it really touched me, and she had good energy, and she was engaging. And it's funny how people generally say the same thing. I believe that a person's only going to say so much about you speaking. And you just got to get them to say it like in 3 different ways. So that's a testimony. So that's the third part about a sizzle video, or demo video, or profile video, as I call it. OK, then you have the logo. Here's where the branding comes in. Well, yeah, you could have a static logo, but as you'll see when we watch Renee's, it moves around, and a logo that spins and brands it or whatnot with a little bit of music that kind of makes you, identifies kind of your tone. It's almost like the voiceover is, a professional recording of a voice, but then you have to have the media that goes with it. This is where it's actually the most work of all the parts for editing and for you guys. Because what you need to do is you'll need to get all your images of you. You'll have to get past clips. The best thing you can put in there are clips if you've been on TV, if you were featured in a local news station. I have a lot of speakers that send me that stuff. And a lot of times, all they have is a link from KARE 11 or NBC or something. So I can take it and capture it. And if you have a good videographer, he'll know how to do that. Yeah, is it wrong? Not really, because you're actually promoting the news station. Just make sure you leave their logo in it, the news in it. If you start covering it or cropping that out, it won't be good. And honestly, okay, I'm surprised none of you asked me this about the testimonials, if I'm getting releases or not. No, I'm not. But it's the same thing as you having a sign up or before they go into film that this is going to be filmed. And the thing, if you watch the testimonials I do, you only see them for 2 seconds. 2 seconds, and it cuts to the speaker, so it's almost impossible to identify the person in some ways. Okay, so let me get back to the voiceover and the parts you need. So for 1-minute video, you might need 40 unique images. You might need, or images or clips. So if you have old video of you speaking, anything, just give it to the videographer. And usually what I'll do is I'll send a Dropbox link, and then you can just dump everything in there. And it could be whatever, anything you could think of with imagery of you. It could even be your graphics from your website, or if you had a flyer, that would be good to put in there too. Okay, so that wraps up the sizzle video. The nice thing about the voiceover, you can say things that you can't get a testimonial to say. You can say things that a speech can't say. It basically is a pat on the back without patting yourself on the back. Because how else would you say it? There's no other way to say, oh, I got this award, I have this educational background. I think what we have is only 2 minutes, and I already touched on the vlogs, like they can be green screen or plain background, or they can be live in an office or something. So anyway, when you're doing a vlog, you want to keep it short, definitely under 2 minutes. And you can either do teleprompter. She is a master. She doesn't need a teleprompter, but I encourage all my speakers to use a teleprompter, because then they can just whip through them, and then they just focus on delivery. I recommend writing them out, because you probably already have them written. This is what's great. If you're already doing written blogs, boom, you just load them in a teleprompter, and you do a green screen, and you get them all done, and they can go really fast. Like we did 70 vlogs in 2 or 3 hours. 2 hours. Yeah. It was impressive.
That's quite impressive.
I know, right? And you'll want outfit changes. You'll definitely want outfit changes. So for every like 6 blogs, you want to change your outfit. It's usually just waist up.
But you know what?
They're fun. It doesn't take long. I recommend teleprompting. Do at least 12 of them. Like you can do as many as you can. I usually do it in, I'll schedule it in like a 2-hour period. As far as the editing of it, you got, again, you need your branding. You need your logo at the beginning and the end. Now what's different about vlog videos is you want to call to action. You need to call to action at the end. You say, I don't know, you say have a great Rocket Renee day. So you're just giving people like love. But some people that do vlogs, they'll say, go to my site. Because really what they want to do is get traffic to their website. So they'll say sign up for this or find out more of this.